Welcome to my channel. So in this live, I will talk about Trump, the President of the United States, and how I think that he is a hypocrite when it comes to world peace. He doesn't deliver, you know. He said that he would end Ukraine war just with a phone call, and it hasn't happened. How many times he has talked to Putin, and it was, unfruitful conversation because it just didn't, end, the war in Ukraine. So basically, what we hear on news is hypocrisy because Trump just wants to brag about, his achievements, like he wants to be praised, as the best president, and he often, mocks women, just because he doesn't understand different accents. So he starts to mock females for some reason. Anyway, returning to the topic about peace, Trump was saying that he would end Ukraine war, quickly, just with a phone call, and it hasn't happened. I mean, um, actually, the war is going to, turn to the fourth year. I mean, in February. So, basically, just few months, and it would be the fourth year, and and Trump just blames, the former President Biden for everything. And, well, Biden hasn't been a president anymore for over a year, and there is still no peace in Ukraine. And this morning, a children's hospital was hit in Kherson, and there are injured and also casualties. So Trump just, says he's going to deliver this and that, and it fails. Also, it's going to fail in the Middle East. He is not going to be able to achieve lasting peace because somebody is going to violate, the agreement. And it's going to be, just a disaster. So I'm just saying Trump likes to brag about everything, that he's, a male, dominant male. So, we have to praise him all the time. But I mean, and when I, look at news reports about Trump, listening to journalists' question, and he complains that he cannot understand the different accents. Okay, I understand there are accents in the world that you cannot understand easily. It's natural. But I mean, when I listened to the given journalist who was asking a question, I could understand almost everything except when she said Knesset, the Israeli parliament. That's the only word I couldn't clearly understand from, her question, that's that word in it. And the rest of the question was clear. But Trump was just mocking her, like, beautiful accent, but I cannot understand the word, you know? So it's just, always about, the male dominated world, Everything is about the males. They are, you have to praise them all the time. And that's it. Nobody cares about the females because females are mocked as, oh, those stupid, ladies, we should not give them any rights, which is wrong. Which is wrong. I mean, there should be more respect. And I know that this is supported by the West. and it's led by Israel. So Trump is led by Israel. The most, that's the most influential, part. So he is just following this lead, nothing else. He's just following the instructions. That's it. That's it. So it's going to be, whatever they expect of him, he is going to do that. And so we are not going to hope for anything because we don't matter, we are not important. And don't tell me, oh no, you do matter. Stop lying to me. And again, return to the topic about Ukraine. I'm frustrated too, keep finding such news that some place was hit, or, a hospital or other places were hit, and why do we have to keep praising the majority, because the Russians are the majority? Why do we have to keep praising them? Like, oh, so yeah, they are right. This world that we live in, actually, only people who are given rights are the people who belong to the majority, and the minorities don't matter in this world. Why? It's always just the majority, who can tell others, what to do, because, yeah, they are more in numbers. But does it mean that they are right? No, it doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't mean that they are right. But I just cannot, find a way, out of this terrible situation that, as a minority, I don't have any right to say anything, and it's always just, in this world that, if you are a minority, you have to suck up to others. So it's always you are inferior and you have to follow what everybody else tells you. And it's just, when the majority of people are not right, and for example, the Russians, just because they are more in number in the world, it doesn't mean that, I don't know, they can do whatever they want or get away with everything, And I'm sick and tired of seeing Russian models, just, showing how beautiful hair they have, the fashionable clothes they have, and they are happy and all that. And do they think about their neighbor? Do they care that their neighbors are getting bombarded by their government? Do they care about that? Do they give a damn? No. They just care about living their lives. And, those rich Russian people, the models and everything, they are, just living their lives, and they don't care about anybody else. And this is terrible. And the people who are less in number, the minorities, they struggle. They don't matter, and so it's not fair. It's not fair that we have to keep witnessing the same things over and over again, just because Trump doesn't want to, look bad in front of the Russian president, just because, well, the Russian president has China as a supporter, so they are more in numbers than the USA, so they have advantage. But it's just terrible how this world is just only about the people who are more in numbers, and I just don't like this type of thing. Because then those who are minorities, they are not given any rights, they are not respected, they don't have a say, that's why. So, and the other day I read on my channel a message that the Ukrainian trash soon won't have a language. How does this person who commented on my video, how does he or she know that Ukrainian language will cease to exist? How does this person know for sure that Ukrainian language won't exist? in the future. Wow. It's just interesting how much hateful, messages spread around, and the world is just messed up. It's just not going to get any better because it's just sick, this type of mindset is terrible. Like, so now I have to put on low heat on the stove this soup. I'm just saying, it's just this world is messed up. So yeah, I'm messed up. You can tell me, oh, you look bad or you look this. But I'm just saying that the world is completely messed up with people thinking in a certain way they do. And so yeah, it's just terrible how we we can't see anything anymore. We don't see uh, people, the way they are. Like, everything is about competition, like, oh, this person has more things, to their advantage. Okay, let's follow this person because this person has power. And this is the only thing that wins, at the end of the day. This is the only thing that wins. People follow only the person who has power. And Trump doesn't have power because, yeah, he is, I don't know, the best person in the world. I'm just saying, I'm not saying he is the worst. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying he's not the best either. And so I'm just saying, but the way he treats some journalists and females is just like, mocking them if they cannot speak English the way he wants to hear the words. Then he gives a negative comment like, oh, this person cannot speak English. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is terrible, and that person shouldn't be in the country, you know, because, this is, the accent is terrible, Like this type of behavior is just like, I don't know, inconsiderate, very inconsiderate that, um, he doesn't give much respect to females because, well, that's his personality type, this is the type of personality he is. Some men, want to be praised all the time. This is their character, so, this is what they expect of others. And so this is how you have to treat the president, oh no, you have to always praise him. Yes, you are, doing everything for peace, and actually you should have received the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, instead of a lady. But yeah, anyway, I'm just saying. But yeah, so it's just funny. But anyway, so, but we can't say anything because, males, dominate the world. So basically, this is how it is. Uh, that's what we need to get used to. And a video I shared the other day on my channel, it was, I don't know, made by a liberal, I think. I don't know by whom, maybe a Jewish liberal person. And obviously, I think Trump doesn't like that video because it depicts, the how, lavish lifestyle, the president has, and his cabinet, they are doing well, and but the rest of the people, the average citizens, they don't do well. And yeah, this is the case, well, in many countries in the world. Actually, I mean, it's the same. So the governments are doing well, but the ordinary citizens, they don't do well. So, I mean, what can I say to you? This is how we are in this world. What time is it? It's already almost 7:30 in the evening here. Um, yeah, it was a public holiday here in Turkey because commemorating the proclamation of the Republic of Turkey. So today was a public holiday. So I don't know what messages. I'm scared to read the messages. Sometimes I fear that somebody is going to write some, I don't know, unkind messages, on my live video, like, abusive words, like, because I'm just talking about Trump or something, and would call me, oh, you stupid female, shut the up, I'm just, the F word, shut the fuck up. So, like, I just don't want to read the messages because it's discouraging, because I already have enough, I mean, actually, even if you abuse me, it doesn't change anything for me. Nothing gets better or worse. I mean, of course, I would feel, worse, but in actual terms, a life wouldn't get any better or worse. So, but anyway, returning to the topic, Ukraine is still, attacked, and we can't do anything from the distance. I mean, how long does Trump tolerate this situation? Like, um, what, what does he talk? When he does to Putin, what do they talk about? I mean, like, for example, saying, oh, Ukraine had attacked your energy infrastructure, like oil refineries, and then, but you attacked Ukraine, civilian homes, and, hospitals and stuff like that. So how does it add up, like the conversation between the two presidents? Like, I wonder, how do they talk? Like, I only attack your infrastructure, energy infrastructure, but you attack the civilians and the hospitals. So, I mean, it sounds, and they still cannot come up to, well, the Russian president doesn't want to, withdraw from those occupied territories. That's the main thing. So he doesn't want to withdraw. That's why the talks, I think, always end up fruitless, like unfruitful. I'm just saying, there's no solution to this war. I think even if there would be a ceasefire, it would only be temporary. Why do I think that it would only be temporary? Is because it's such, grievances, and for many years this war has been going on, and significant losses. I don't think Ukraine could forgive Russians that easily for everything, for this past 3 years and everything, and the country, has been damaged, and millions of Ukrainians have left the country. So, how can you forgive your neighbor if they have ruined your life and your country and causing significant damage and even personal losses? Like, so how can you forgive? Actually, that's the question we should all ask. And actually, we come to our topic about the religion. That, before Jesus' second coming, that people cannot make peace. They just can't. They just can't. They are incapable of doing right. People always mess up. So, the shortcomings that humans we all have, it just cannot guarantee the lasting peace that, that is needed. And sadly, I'm afraid we may only have a temporary ceasefire in Ukraine, like just freezing the conflict and then it could resume again. That's realistic. So that's what I'm afraid of, because it's a realistic thing that um, it can happen because of the sides. They don't respect each other. So when people don't respect each other, they are not genuine when they talk to each other. Okay, I make this agreement with you, I sign the agreement, but then they don't hold to the terms of the agreement. Then, somebody violates the agreement. And so everything is just, gets messed up, and the conflict and the war can resume again. So I'm just saying this is a realistic situation. So this is what we need to account for, that this is going to happen. And I already, I don't know, envisioned this with my eyes. Like, yeah, there may be a temporary ceasefire, but if Russia doesn't give those territories back to Ukraine, um, the war could resume again. But so far, there's not even a ceasefire. Like, I mean, there was, yeah, in the past, like Easter ceasefire, Easter holiday ceasefire. And what? That lasted for a day or sorry, or 2 days or something. That's nothing. I mean, need a significant time. I mean, because nothing can be rebuilt, when you just keep damaging, everything over and over again. And I wonder, there's another theory in my head, and I looked at a map uh, some time ago. I saw a map that depicted, the Khazarian, that's like in the distant past, like in the 700 years after Christ, or no, or 900 years, no, 900 something years, that when Ukraine was founded, as a Christian state. But it was like before that, when the Khazarian groups were in the region, and they were Jewish, and yeah, they had present day, like parts of Ukraine and also parts of Russia as well. So that was interesting. So the Khazarian Jewish state. So I wonder if that's an aim, like if someone to recreate this, it could be plausible, in my opinion, if you think of it, because Ukraine and Israel, well, these two states are debated, by by their neighbors. Both of these states are debated, that some say that these shouldn't exist. Russia would say no, it was the Russian Empire and Ukraine didn't exist or something, and then the Soviets and so forth came, and yeah, Ukraine is not a separate state or something. And about the Middle East, some would say no, Israel shouldn't exist. I mean, they're neighbors. Anyway, I should finish this live, but thanks for watching. Bye.